Hello, everybody.
Next matter is State of Kansas versus Cy Jones. Case number 25 CR 17. If counsel would state their appearances, please.
Jeremy Gear on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Cy Jones. Mr. Jones does appear from the Butler County Detention Facility Zoom screen. Judge, this is a case where, pursuant to plea negotiations, he is going to plead guilty to count 2, driving while suspended, second, Class A non-person misdemeanor, and also plead guilty to count 4, speeding 93 and a 65, and other counts dismissed. At the time of sentencing, Your Honor, there's an agreed recommendation on count 2, driving while suspended second, of a $100 fine, court costs, court determined attorney fees, probation fee, 120 days controlling, and a 1-year reporting probation with a standard conditions as well as a special condition that he is to write an apology letter to law enforcement in this case. And then on count 3, scheduled fine. Or that was count 4, I apologize. Count 4 scheduled fine.
Okay, so it's count 1 and count 4.
Count 2 and count 4.
Oh, 2. Okay. And Mr. Regier, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. With regard to the special condition of writing an apology letter to law enforcement, this is a case where the affidavit appears to be signed by an affiant who identifies himself as being with the Butler County Sheriff's Office. Additionally, notwithstanding the plea deal currently before the court, count 1 of the information appears to be one count of interference with law enforcement, and that is the basis of the request of the special condition of probation.
All right. Mr. Jones, have you heard what the attorneys have told me?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to discuss this with Mr. Patterson?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Do you understand that with a plea of guilty, you would be waiving your right to trial?
Yes, Honor.
And do you understand that while there can be recommendations from the parties, the court is not bound to them? On a Class A misdemeanor, you could be ordered to pay, ordered to serve 1 year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's a fine solely on count 4. Counsel, you said that was 93 and a 65?
One moment, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right. It looks like a $177 fine unless there is a work zone or school, those special conditions. I don't see anything that indicates that's accurate or correct. All right. Do the parties stipulate to the factual basis?
Would so stipulate, Your Honor.
I do find there's a factual basis based upon the affidavit in support of the complaint information and the stipulation. Are there any statements that counsel would, so I do find that the plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered with the advice of good counsel. Mr. Jones, did anybody force or coerce you in some fashion to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medications or intoxicants at this time?
No, sir.
Anything that makes it difficult for you to think clearly?
No, sir. The only thing is my mom, they just diagnosed her with MDS and they're giving her a month left to live. So, I mean, I'm pretty sad about that right now, but I think I'm thinking clearly.
I do find that the plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered with the advice of good counsel. Factual basis, I already made that finding. I will hear sentencing recommendations at this time if there's anything additional.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Just briefly, Judge, I would tell a court on his current driver's license status. He's still suspended, but it's only because of one Greenwood County charge or traffic case that he needs to take care of. After that, he would be on a restricted license for a DUI issue.
Okay. Is he, okay, was his license suspended because of the DUI?
His license is currently only suspended because of the sanction D56 from Greenwood County Courthouse case that he has to resolve. He's on restricted on the DUI charge.
Okay, so the parties agreed that the mandatory jail time isn't applicable here, other than the 5 days.
That would be the state's understanding, Your Honor.
Yes, that it does not apply, Judge.
Okay, all right. Mr. Jones, is there any statements that you'd like to make before I pronounce sentence?
I would do anything. I would do probation, community service, anything, just not to be in jail while my mom dies.
How long have you been in jail now?
Judge, the jail records show he was checked into jail June 11th.
Mr. Jones, is that the longest you've served in jail before?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation on anything else right now?
No.
Counsel, what is the apology that's being sought in that letter for lying about who he was, or to the man whose identity he was trying to use?
Specifically, Your Honor, pursuant to plea negotiations, there would be an apology to the Butler County Sheriff's Office for the events of the incident of January 14th, 2025.
All right. Mr. Jones, is there anything additional you'd like to state before I pronounce sentence?
I'm really sorry about lying about who I was. I definitely won't be writing a letter of apology to him.
All right. In regards to count 4, 93 and 65, I impose a fine of $177. That's the scheduled fine. Looks like this was on 400 at 6:45 in the morning. Where were you going, Mr. Jones?
I was heading to work.
Why so fast?
I was passing a semi going down the hill right there before you go into Leon.
Eastbound or westbound?
I was heading eastbound.
Where is it you work?
Douglas, Kansas.
What's your job?
It's mobile home services. We work all over the place. We work in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Wichita, everywhere. Wherever there's a mobile home park.
It says that in the affidavit that you had 4 open suspensions at that time. One of the oldest being back from 08, but also 2009 and 23.
Right. Those have been dropped.
And it also had a non-extraditable warrant out of Tennessee. Is that taken care of?
That was for the false name that I had given.
Well, he said, okay, so was that under the name that you were given? They were the person that had the arrest warrant?
Yes.
That's what you're telling me?
Yes,
Why
sir.
would you use somebody's name that had an arrest warrant?
I didn't know he did. It's my coworker. It was a stupid thing. I panicked and just gave a coworker's name, and I had no clue what past he had. It was stupid. That's why I'd definitely be writing a letter of apology. I've already apologized to my coworker for it.
As a young attorney, I had a client once who one of his coworkers had taken his license and was using it and would pay it. And I can't remember how many hours I had to try to get that fellow's driver's license squared away because of that guy who was using his identity. You seem to have a pretty good familiarity of how to work this.
I don't understand what you mean by that, sir.
Well, I think you understand the system pretty well and how to try to avoid it using a real person's name and driver's license.
I didn't have his driver's license or nothing. I just gave him a name.
All right. So those suspensions that I mentioned, were those the other guy's suspensions or yours?
They were probably his suspensions.
Yeah,
What did
Judge,
you?
I have his certified driving record from when this case originated, and it does show there are 4 sanctions. But as I review those, it appears one of those is the restriction on his driver's license. And then the Greenwood County case I was telling the court about just a minute ago. and then 2 others that he's already resolved. So basically just one currently a Greenwood County case.
And you said that was on a DUI?
No, that appears to be subsequent. The DUI was in 2019. That's 2019 CR 181 in Greenwood County.
Okay.
Subsequent to that appears just to be a traffic citation that he hasn't resolved.
Mr. Jones, are you on any sort of probation at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any other pending cases?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So count 4, I sentenced you to a $177 fine. In regards to count 2, the driving while suspended second or subsequent offense, I'm going to impose a $100 fine. I'm going to impose attorney's fees, court costs, and I will order that you write an apology letter, an appropriate apology letter. I'll address who's got to review that here in a moment. All right, Mr. Jones, 2 things. I already told you the one case that reminded me of, and the other is of an individual that was on a stolen motorcycle with an 18-year-old girl in the back running from the cops, at speeds similar to what you're talking about here, 93. I used to practice in front of a judge. You said, when you get up to that speed, you're not driving the car, you're aiming it. And I'm familiar with that section of road, and it isn't safe to do that.
Right. You're absolutely right, Your Honor.
You got a curb coming up and people coming in, eastbound or westbound. I'm going to impose 1 year in the county jail. I will place you on reporting probation for a period of 12 months. I will give you credit for the time that you've served. It'll be a standard probation for Butler County. You'll report as directed. Mr. Jones, I'm going to put it just flat out. You violate the terms of your probation, and you're going to spend the whole year.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because you could have very easily killed anybody on that road.
Yes, I know.
And you're not a kid. You've had this issue with your driver's license for a while. There's no excuse for this.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm sorry about the situation with your mother, but I tell you what, I've met with enough people who lost loved ones in traffic accidents caused by behavior like this that I'm just not making, like I said, I'm granting you the probation standard terms. You'll need to follow up, be in compliance with all of those. You can be processed out today after your court appearance is done. If you need to contact court services today and get lined up, and you'll have your reported, give you a reporting time. The attorney's fees are $250. Probation fee, as the standard probation fee, I believe, is $60, but whatever it is there. I will order that apology letter. Court services will have to be sure that it's appropriate, and if it is, it can be forwarded on. If the sheriff's office want it or not, court services will contact them about that, but apparently they're wanting it. But counsel, is there anything further I need to address?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Jones, I hope you take me at my word on that, because I will remember this case.
Yes, I promise.
Very well. Good luck to you. And
Thank you.
this case is adjourned. He can be processed out.
Thank you guys all for coming out tonight. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.